Hey all, I wanted to introduce you to Rob Cook, who I met recently. Um, uh, Not from the real estate world normally I talk to, but
Mhm.
he's a little bit of a kindred spirit in the sense he's also into personal development. But I'll let him talk about that. Rob is also a financial planner, and now he has a great podcast, which is going to talk a little bit about. So Rob, kind of introduce yourself and say how you came to what you're doing right now.
Thanks, Raj. Appreciate it. Hello everyone. My name is Rob Cook. I am a CPA and certified financial planner by day. I work for a wealth management firm here in the Sacramento, California area, and love what I do. But as Raju mentioned, I have this whole passion of personal development and self-help as well. So at night, one of my little side hustles is that I have a podcast called Contenders Wanted, where I interview successful individuals and we talk about their stories and we learn their insights and the habits and the tools that they use to help them kind of break through their proverbial glass ceilings and get to the next level and find success. So kind of two different things, but I love both things that I get to do and have a lot of fun doing it, meeting a lot of really cool people.
Awesome, awesome. So we'll get into more of the Contenders Wanted. I'm sure it'll be a great podcast to listen to. I've heard bits and pieces myself. So he has great guests
Thanks.
on. But with that being said, so on the both sides, right?
Mhm.
You obviously, can you tell us who should probably reach out to you and who you can help, your type of people you can help, and type of people
Yeah.
you probably want on your podcast?
Yeah. So for my business by day, like I said, I'm a financial planner. And if you look at my tagline on LinkedIn, because I'm most active on LinkedIn, it says that I serve high performing business owners who want to create wealth. Because being a CPA and a CFP, I think that one of the values that I can provide my customers is that I'm not just your typical, you know,
Right.
wealth advisor, wealth planner, wealth money manager, however you want to describe it, right? I have this background that's kind of unique and different from a lot of the guys in the industry, and I can understand your business better. For real estate investors, I can understand the 1031 exchange. I can understand wanting to get the maximum of that depreciation, right? And
Mhm.
trying and all the tax benefits that come with it. And so I'm not just talking to my clients about, hey, let's put in some stocks, put in some bonds, some mutual funds, ETFs. I want to see the whole picture for business owners. And I say high performers because I love looking at the complex stuff, talking to the people who have really unique situations or who are really trying to just go all out and go for it. And I want to be the guy that they can rely on, that they know that they can bounce ideas off of, and that I can help them accomplish their goals. As it comes to the podcast is designed for anyone who wants to try and be successful. Like I said, the idea of being this contender, right, is someone who's trying and fighting and trying to strive to get to the next level. Maybe a similar feeling to some of those clients that I serve during the day, but not necessarily. Might be the guys that are a couple years behind, right? But I interview people who are successful. So whether that's an entrepreneur who's had a business, or you're a real estate investor who you struck out and kind of decided to shoot for financial freedom, or maybe you're a high power attorney, as someone I've had an Olympian on my show where we talk about what is it like to compete at literally the highest level in the world, or maybe you're a parent, who went through some hard things, and you had a success isn't just monetary. Success isn't just professionally. Success requires all facets of ourselves to truly be successful, making a life of impact and a life of meaning. And so on podcasts, I like to try and interview those people that have had an impact and have made a difference on all areas of their life, not just one particular area. So if you know of anyone who fits that description, who is successful, who you think, oh man, that guy, they're really doing it right. I mean, I'd love to hear who they are, get connected to them, and perhaps share their story with our listeners as well, and help them get better and get to the next level for themselves.
Awesome. So as you heard, so if you're a real estate investor, need someone who is also a CPA, which is actually a great bonus. If you're
Thanks,
an
appreciate that.
investor, so reach out to Rob for that one. And on the contenders, like I said, it's a great podcast. Anyone who is successful or listen to it first, obviously, And then, if you have a success story to share it with Rob. It might be a
I would
great.
love that.
Yeah. So awesome. So I'll have a follow-up question
Of course.
on this one. So as viewers can probably see, you got a lot of passion in your the Contenders Wanted and your job. So on the Contenders Wanted, what was the best podcast interview you had so far, and why?
Oh, wow. Okay, well, full disclosure, I only went live with my podcast a few weeks ago, so I really only have 6 episodes to choose from. So it's pretty easy at this point. But at the same time, though, every story is unique, and every story is different. I think one of my favorites has to be actually my very first episode. It was with a young guy by the name of Kyle Marcotte. He's 21 years old. And for those of you who aren't familiar with him, he's a real estate syndicator based out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And he now is a syndicator on about $10 million worth of property and assets. So he's doing really well for himself, especially as a 21, 22-year-old kid, frankly. But 2 years ago, when I met him, he was a student at UC Davis here in the Sacramento area playing soccer on scholarship. And so we just talk about that process of how do you tell your coach who recruited you from Texas to California, oh, hey, by the way, I'm going to leave, or how do you tell mom and dad, hey, I worked really hard and you guys sacrificed a lot for this scholarship, but I'm out. I have this other dream now that I'm going to go after, or how do you just do that? How do you just go from being in college to just, I'm going to be a real estate syndicator, right? What did that look like in every step of the way? And so we talk about all those things. And then one thing I think your listeners will love as well is that not only is he in real estate, but at the same time, he is a great, really grounded kid. And we talk about some lessons that he learned when he was really young that have really kind of helped now affect his trajectory going forward and kind of the way he approaches investing. But I think is just great advice for anyone who's in the real estate industry who has a desire to invest in real estate. He's just a really cool, sharp kid. So if you're only listening to one episode, I'd say listen to that one because it'll probably resonate more with your listener base.
Awesome. I got to look him up. If he's in Dallas, since I'm in Dallas.
Yeah. Actually, I think he's in Austin. Sorry, did I say Dallas? I misspoke. He's in Austin.
Austin. Okay. All right. Then I might not know him.
Either way, he's in Texas. He's somewhere in Texas.
Okay. That's okay. All right. So with that being said, my last question. Obviously, since you're very into personal development, I'm sure you learn a lot of things and a lot of tips. But I'm looking for one tip that has most affected you, either personal, like I said, or your career, that you can share with other people that will help them.
Well, as I thought about this question, there's one quote that came just like immediately to mind. And for me, that was actually a quote by Gary Keller. He said, "The reason people fail is because they are unwilling to endure the monotony of success."
Nice.
And I love that quote because most of us think of the hot shot, the IPO, the flash bang in the pan type of success, right? Because that's really sexy, and it is. I'm not even going to discredit that. It is, but more often than not, success is a pretty boring, laborious process that requires you every day to just get up and take the next step, to do the next project, to cross off the next thing on your list, whatever the most important thing is for you that day, but to just get it done every single day. And it's those efforts that compound over time that lead to success. And it's not an easy process by any means. As much as we want it to be and wish it would be, there can be times where it moves quickly, but a lot of times it just takes that consistent effort, that monotony of success that Gary Keller says, every day becoming a little bit better, and every day just trying a little bit more.
Awesome tip. That's a great tip. Yeah, no, I love that. I love Gary Keller's book. Awesome. Thanks again, Rob, taking the time.
Again, thanks for having me on the show.
Hey,
I really enjoyed it.
More than happy to have you, and I'm honored that you were on the show. And I will post Rob's podcast link and whatever other information I'm allowed to post about him. So at least his LinkedIn profile and
come check me out there. You can find me there.
Yeah, whatever, and then reach out to him. Obviously, like I said, like he mentioned, who would be great connections for him. So please reach out to him.
Love to connect with anyone who wants to.
Yep, there you go. So he's a, as you can see, he's got a lot of passion. So he's a great guy to talk to. All right. Thanks again, Rob.
All right.